some reason, there's a weird restriction where you can't add external people. But weirdly, if it's initiated from a Gmail account, they can actually add multiple people from multiple domains to their chat. Would like to get your thoughts on not being able to add external users to a group chat and being forced to use a space for external users. Yeah, okay. It's rant time. So when you're creating spaces inside Google Chat, and a space is basically what it was called a room in the past, but effectively it's like a group chat now, but it's called spaces. You can add external users. Basically, you can create a space and you can have people from your company, but you can also have people from outside your company as well. So one of the advantages of having spaces is that you can create threads. And Google's implementation of this is not amazing, to be completely honest. So you can see here that I've got a thread that I've started. We put a thread title up the top, and then we put all of our text underneath. I'll go to a busier thread here, so we've got a little bit more. Someone has just dropped in an iPad competition. This one's called scheduling tool. So you can basically organize your chat via threads when you're working with a space. That's basically what it looks like. But when you have a group chat, let me open up a group chat. You can just have a bunch of people in like one thread, and there's no individual threads. There's just a bunch of people in one thread. Now, what Caleb is referring to here in his question is he's saying, hey, I can't create a group chat like this with people outside my company. And he's right, you can't. And you used to be able to. When Google previously had Google Hangouts, and then they have transitioned into Google Chat, somehow that feature has been dropped off. For some reason, there's a weird restriction where you can't add external people. But weirdly, if it's initiated from a Gmail account, they can actually add multiple people from multiple domains to their chat. So what's going on here, Google? Well, number one, this is probably the reality of Google's development is based on sometimes technical limitations. And so when they're trying to merge different systems together and they have legacy technology that they've built, like Google Hangouts, and they're trying to merge that into a newer version of something that they've built when they've completely done a rewrite, like Google Chat, they sometimes run into some of their own technical roadblocks. Now, I'm not going to go into the detail on that because that's basically a problem for developers to try and work out. But effectively, sometimes Google are going to run into the kind of things that just stop them from implementing something. But when Google switched from Google Hangouts to Google Meet, which was completely rewritten from scratch, that calling feature didn't appear until only a couple of months ago. It was basically not even there for years. And so Google are basically from time to time rewriting their tools from scratch, and they don't always get all of the old features because maybe it was old infrastructure, or it was maybe they believe that people don't use it that much, or they don't need it that much, or maybe there's sometimes a technical limitation in them actually getting it done. So sometimes you're going to have Google make a change and it's going to seem dumb, it's going to seem counterintuitive, they're going to remove a feature that you liked in the past, and we just kind of get stuck with it. That's the first reason. There is another reason though. I'm going to give you the second reason that this happens. The second reason that this happens sometimes is something will be implemented in Gmail or a consumer Google account, but not inside a Workspace account or what was called G Suite in the past. And you would have seen things like the Google Assistant and Nest Home Automation having problems working with G Suite or Google Workspace accounts. I'm based in Australia and I still can't get my calendar to work on the Google Assistant. It still won't read back my work calendar, but it works just fine for Gmail accounts. Now, why would Google do that? Well, sometimes when Google is implementing a feature in their massive ecosystem of tools, when they create it for a business account, it actually falls under something called the SLA or service level agreement. And inside the service level agreement, there is a guarantee on uptime. And there also is a guarantee on things like privacy controls, on data protection, and in some areas of the world, like the European Union, there are very stringent privacy controls. Now, if Google's built a service for consumers, they can be a little bit more lax in how it's implemented because basically, if it's a free service like Gmail, there's no promise to what the uptime is going to be. There's no compensation if there's any time that the service is down or unavailable. And there's no privacy laws. Well, there are consumer privacy laws, but if you're a business, then you want to be using the business service. And so for your own compliance in a business, you wouldn't be using a personal Gmail account, right? And so you don't have to worry about the compliance on a Gmail account. But in a business account, you need things like audit reporting. You need things like uptime reporting. Google needs to build a status dashboard for every feature. Google needs to make sure each feature is available. Otherwise, their big customers will request refunds for any downtime. And so that's why Google will at times be cautious what they actually implement from the consumer world into the business version, even though Gmail looks exactly the same. And it is exactly the same between Gmail and Google Workspace. Unfortunately, some features like the Assistant, some other features like getting my calendar to work, Google Nest, some of the other things that people love, like going to Google Play and being able to share movies that you've bought with your family. Can't do it in Google Workspace. Works fine in Gmail. These are just the kind of things that you have to, unfortunately, put up with if you're working in the different ecosystems. So hopefully that's been a little bit of an explainer. It's a very wide-ranging explanation for why that is the case, but that should give you an idea why sometimes you just won't have a feature inside Workspace, and you just got to hope and pray that Google will implement it. There are, of course, the options to go to Google's suggestions forum, add that in as a suggestion for them to fix it. Chances are they're already working on it if it's something that just seems completely dumb, because hundreds or thousands of customers are probably already asking for it. But if you really want to put in your individual vote, you can go to Google's forums and add your vote for them to implement that as well. If you like this content, please hit subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when we go live or drop new content on the channel. Now, if you'd like to connect with us, hit us up on social media or join our free community group. All the links to that are right below this video. If you'd like to learn more about Google Workspace and the technology ecosystem, you can join our free Genius Academy by transferring your billing across to itGenius. Or you can join a Workspace Basics Bootcamp. Now, if you're a business owner and you're interested in an audit on your technology stack or your Workspace account, or you're looking to do a project in the tech world, well, you can take advantage of our free consultation. And if you need help right now, then consider joining Concierge or taking up a quick fix with our team for professional support for your tech stack.